Thank you very much. The government has concluded its direct examination of this witness, and now it's cross-examination. Mr. Southern, please proceed. Thank you, Judge. One moment. Good afternoon, Mr. Stewart. Good afternoon. My name is Billy Southern. I represent Evans Lewis. All right. In the direct examination, you talked about smuggling weed into the jail, right? Yeah. You're not high now, are you? Am I what? You're not high now, are you? You haven't used any of that jailhouse weed today or yesterday? No. Alrighty. Also, during the direct, you read a letter, and in the letter, it's your words. You said, I'm still a G until I die. And I'm a G. I don't back down. Right? Yeah. And that's still true, right? Yeah. You're still a G until you die, right? Yeah. So even though you're on Team USA, in your words, you're still a G, right? Yeah. But now you're a G for Team USA, right? What you mean a G from USA? Well, when you say you're a G, right, you're a G until you die. And now you're on Team USA, right? I said I'm a G until I die. Okay. And when you have say, I am a G, I don't back down, right? Yeah. That means that no one is going to get over on you, right? No. That means that if somebody play with me, I'm still going to hurt them. Ain't nothing changed just because I'm on this stand telling it. If somebody was to try to hurt me, I'm going to hurt them. You're still the same rabbit, right? Yeah, I'm trying to change, but like if somebody was to try to hurt me, yeah, I'm going to hurt somebody. Change is hard, right? What? Change is hard, huh? Change what? Change is hard, huh? I can't understand. Change is hard, right? Oh, changing is hard? Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. Okay, we're going to go slightly more sort of bit by bit on the process that led to you being a cooperator in this case. Okay? Alright. Alrighty. So, during direct, it was clear that immediately after Kendrick's mother's identified you, you were a wanted man. Right? Yeah. And you went on the lam. Right? I can't understand. You went on the run. Right? Yeah. First you went to Florida. Right? Yeah. Did you go somewhere before you went to Florida? I was in Miami when they tried to come get me. Okay. And you knew you were wanted, right? Yeah. And what were you doing down there in Miami? On a vacation. So you just killed a man, but you were on a vacation, right? Yeah. Okay. And I bet you were pretty pissed off, right? That Kendrick's mothers had identified you, huh? I didn't know if he identified me as being a shooter. I just thought he thought that I set him up. Okay. But you understand that for legal purposes, whether you set him up to die or whether you killed him doesn't make much of a difference, right? Yeah, now I know that. He put a murder on you, right? Yeah. And in your world, that's a frustrating reality, right? You didn't want that to happen, right? No. You wanted him to die, right? Yeah. So him living and identifying you, that's a problem, right? Yeah. Because your intention was that he be dead, right? Yeah. So you were disappointed that he wasn't dead, right? Yeah. Thank you. So he is not dead and he identifies you. And you're wanted in Florida. And you decide you're going to take some measures to disguise yourself, right? Yeah. And you buy, on direct you said you bought a kind of Rastaman hat, huh? Yeah. And you bought some kind of fake ID, huh? Yeah. Okay. Previously offered as Government's Exhibit 334 and 335. Do you recognize this? Yeah. What is that? That's a fake ID. It's a really fake ID, right? A fake ID. A fake ID. Where did you get this fake ID? From somebody who made it. Somebody who? I don't know. And how much did you pay for this thing? I got it through somebody. I don't know how much I paid for it. Okay. Does this look like anything like a real ID? It look. Objection. Calls for speculation. It kind of speaks for itself. Well, lay a foundation. Do you know what a real ID looks like? Yeah. Like a real proper Louisiana state ID? Do you know what that looks like? Asked and answered, Judge. Overruled. Do you know what that looks like? What you said? Do you know what a real ID looks like? A real Louisiana ID. Do you know what that looks like? Yeah. It's a card. It's not a laminated card, is it? No. It's got one surface. It has a certain way of looking, doesn't it? Yeah. Does this thing look anything like that? No. But you got this because you thought you might be able to fool someone with it, right? Yeah, I was trying to fool the police. So you think that this very fake ID is going to fool the police? Objection. Asked and answered. Sustained. And what's the name on there? James Lee. And what social security number? Objection. Relevance. Overruled. I don't know whose social security number that is. That's just a made up one. It's all made up, right? Yeah. So James D. Lee, that's not you, right? No. That date of birth, that's not your date of birth, is it? No. That's not your social security number, right? No. That picture of you, is that a real picture of you? Yeah. So you went through some effort to get this. You had your picture taken, right? Yeah. And you paid some money, right? Yeah. And it was your hope that was going to help you if you got stopped by the police, right? Yeah. Because you couldn't show them your real ID, right? Yeah. Do you even have a real ID? Do I got one now? I mean, in general, did you have one at the time? I couldn't have nothing on me if they didn't see it. Okay. And then you also bought this Rasta hat, huh? Yeah. And you were thinking, or let me ask you. So you believe that this was a costume that along with this fake ID might be able to help you get away from the police, huh? No. That Rasta hat in Miami. They got Haitians out there, so I needed to get away to blend in with the Haitians to try to get to the spot where I need to go at. So that's why that was on there. The idea I don't got no hair, so that hat was just sitting in the room at the time. Okay. And you thought that with this Rastaman hat, that if you were walking down the street with this Rastaman hat on your head, that people would be like, hey, look, that's a real Rastaman, huh? That's what they thought. Oh, you actually pulled it off? Yeah. Okay. So you were walking around the city of Miami with this hat on, huh? Yeah. And then eventually you went up to Georgia with this hat, right? Yeah. Did you stop anywhere in between? Yeah. I went all places. I didn't get caught right then and there. I went to all different places. Where did you go? When I left from Miami, I went to Tallahassee, Florida. Okay. Who did you stay with there? The hotel. What hotel? The Best Western. Best Western. Who did you stay with? Myself. Just you? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. Okay. And then where did you stop? I went to Atlanta. And I went to Atlanta. You said you went lots of places. Where else did you go between Tallahassee and Atlanta? I just told you I went to Atlanta first. I went from Miami, I went to Tallahassee, then I went to Atlanta and chilled in Atlanta for a little while. Then, who did you chill with? With a girl. With a girl. What girl? What's her name? Shanita. Shanita. So you and Shanita were hanging out in Atlanta, huh? Yeah. And you're wanted? Yeah. So you know that puts Shanita in a bad spot, right? She don't know my business. But you don't care is what you're saying. No, you weren't worried about Shanita, right? No, I said she don't know my business. So Shanita didn't know that you were wanted for murder? No. Did she see this ridiculous Rastaman hat? I'm going to object to this relevance. Objection sustained as to the characterization of being ridiculous. Rephrase your question. Did she see this Rastaman hat? No.